Zara sat in the large chair and looked at her hands. They were shaking. She could hear voices outside the door of her father's office. The voices were getting louder. "This is the only way," her father said to someone. "We have no choice left." Zara knew what this meant. She had known for weeks that this day would come. Her family owed too much money to the trade group. The trade group was powerful. They controlled business across many planets. When people could not pay them back, bad things happened. Her father opened the door. Lord Keth looked older than his 45 years. His blue skin was pale, and his eyes were tired. The Kalani people were known for being strong warriors, but her father looked beaten. "Zara," he said, "come in. We need to talk." She walked into the office. Another person was there. He was tall and had thick arms. His skin was dark gray and his teeth were sharp. This was Drex, a Bruthan trader. Zara had heard stories about the Bruthan people. They were cruel and only cared about money. "Sit down," her father said. Zara sat in the chair across from Drex. He looked at her like she was something he wanted to buy. She did not like the way his eyes moved over her. "Zara," her father began, "you know about our family's problems. We owe the trade group 12 million credits. If we do not pay soon, they will take our house, our land, everything." Zara nodded. She had seen the bills. She had heard her parents talking late at night when they thought she was sleeping. "Drex has offered to help us," her father continued. "He will pay our debt." "What does he want in return?" Zara asked, even though she already knew. Drex spoke for the first time. His voice was deep and rough. "I want you as my wife." The words hit Zara like a cold wind. She had expected this, but hearing it still hurt. "This marriage will save our family," her father said. "It will save our honor." Honor. The Kalani people talked about honor all the time. Honor meant doing your duty. Honor meant putting your family first. Honor meant sacrificing yourself for others. "When?" Zara asked. "In 2 weeks," Drex said. "We will have the ceremony on Nexus 7. It is a trade station where many species come to do business. It will show everyone that our families are united." Zara looked at her father. She wanted to scream. She wanted to run. But she was a good Kalani daughter. She had been taught to obey. "I understand," she said quietly. Drex smiled, showing his sharp teeth. "Good. You will make a fine wife. You will do what I tell you to do." After Drex left, Zara stayed with her father. They sat in silence for a long time. "I am sorry," her father said. "If there was another way." "I know, father," Zara said. "I will do my duty." But inside, she felt empty. She was 22 years old. She had dreams of traveling to other worlds, of seeing new things, of choosing her own path. Now all of that was gone. The next day, Zara began preparing for her new life. Her mother helped her pack her clothes. Her mother, Lady Vera, tried to be cheerful, but Zara could see the sadness in her eyes. "Marriage is not so bad," her mother said. "You will learn to be happy." "Did you learn to be happy?" Zara asked. Her mother stopped folding clothes. "Your father is a good man. Drex is. Different. But he is wealthy. You will have a comfortable life." "What if I do not want to be comfortable? What if I want to be free?" Her mother looked shocked. "Free?" "Zara, women of our class do not talk about being free. We have duties. We have responsibilities." "But what about what I want?" "What you want does not matter," her mother said firmly. "Only the family matters." That night, Zara could not sleep. She went to her window and looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there were other worlds, other people, other ways of living. She had read about species that let their children choose their own marriages. She had read about places where women could be leaders, fighters, explorers. But she was Kalani, and Kalani women did what they were told. A few days later, they traveled to Nexus 7. The trade station was huge. It floated in space between several planets. Ships came and went constantly. Aliens of many different species walked through the corridors. Zara had never seen so many different kinds of people. There were the tall, thin Vorthon with their silver skin. There were the small, furry Quillen who spoke in high voices. There were the robot-like mechanoids who never showed emotion. And then she saw something new. A group of beings she had never seen before. They were about the same height as Kalani, but their skin was different colors, some pale, some dark, some in between. Their hair came in many colors, too. They looked soft somehow, not dangerous like the Bruthan or cold like the Vorthon. "What are those?" she asked her father. "Humans," he said. "They are a new species. They only joined the galaxy recently. Most people think they are weak." Zara watched the humans. There were 4 of them. One was a male with brown hair and kind eyes. He was talking to a Vorthon trader, but the Vorthon was being rude to him. The human did not get angry. He just smiled and kept talking. "Why does that one not fight back?" Zara asked. "The Vorthon is insulting him." "Because humans are weak," her father said. "They have no honor. They do not understand strength." But as Zara watched, something interesting happened. The human male said something that made the Vorthon laugh. Soon they were shaking hands. The Vorthon gave the human a data pad. They had made a deal. How did he do that? Zara wondered. Do what? Make the deal. The Vorthon was angry, but then he was happy. Her father shrugged. Humans are strange. They use words instead of strength. It is not the proper way. That evening, Zara met with Drex to discuss the wedding plans. He had rented a large room on the station. Everything was expensive and meant to show his wealth. You will wear the traditional Bruthan wedding dress, he told her. It shows that you belong to me now. What if I want to wear a Kalani dress? Zara asked. Drex's eyes became cold. You will do what I say. You are mine now. Your father sold you to me. The words hurt, but they were true. She was being sold, just like cargo. As they talked about the ceremony, Zara's mind kept going back to the humans she had seen. They seemed so different from everyone else. They were not trying to show how strong or rich they were. They just seemed real. Are you listening to me? Drex demanded. Yes, Zara said. I am sorry. You had better be. After we are married, you will learn to pay attention when I speak. Zara nodded, but inside she felt something new. It was anger, but not the hot anger of a warrior. It was a cold, quiet anger that made her think. For the first time in her life, she wondered if there might be another way to live. She thought about the humans and how they had solved their problem with words instead of force. She thought about the male human's kind eyes. Maybe, she thought, maybe there was more than one way to be strong. The wedding was in 1 week. Zara did not know it yet, but her life was about to change in ways she could never imagine. The humans she had seen were about to show her that sometimes the greatest strength came from the most unexpected places, and sometimes freedom was worth fighting for. The next morning, Zara walked through the market section of Nexus 7. She was supposed to be shopping for wedding gifts, but she really just wanted to be alone. The corridors were busy with traders from many worlds. She heard shouting ahead. A crowd had gathered around something. Zara moved closer to see what was happening. 3 Bruthan pirates were threatening a small Quillen family. The Quillen were the small, furry people who traded in rare minerals. The pirates were much bigger and had weapons. "You owe us money," one pirate said. "Pay now or we take your ship." The Quillen father was shaking. "Please, we paid you last month. We have no more credits." "Then we take your daughter," another pirate said. "She will work for us until the debt is paid." The Quillen daughter was very young, maybe 10 years old. She hid behind her mother. Everyone in the crowd just watched. This kind of thing happened often in space. The strong took from the weak. It was the way things worked. Then Zara saw the humans again, the same 4 from yesterday. The male with brown hair stepped forward. "Hey," he said to the pirates, "leave them alone." The pirates laughed. "What did you say, little human?" I said. "Leave them alone. They are just trying to make a living." The biggest pirate looked down at the human. "Do you know who we are? We are Drax's crew. We take what we want." The human did not seem scared. "I am Jake Morrison, and I think you should find someone else to bother." "Jake Morrison?" one of the other pirates said. "I heard of you. You are the human who stopped the slave ship near Rigel." Jake smiled. "That was us." Zara was confused. How could these small humans stop pirates? She looked at Jake's crew. There was a female human with black hair who looked like a fighter. There was a male with darker skin who carried tools instead of weapons. And there was another female with blonde hair who had a medical bag. "There are only 4 of you," the big pirate said. "We have friends coming." "So do we," the black-haired female said. She was looking at something on her wrist device. Suddenly, red lights started flashing. An alarm went off. A voice spoke over the station's speakers. "Security alert. Unregistered weapons detected in Market Section 7. Security." Teams responding. The pirates looked around nervously. Having unregistered weapons on Nexus 7 was a serious crime. Jake kept talking calmly. "You know, if you leave now, security will not find those weapons. But if you stay..." The pirates understood. They could fight the humans, but then they would have to fight station security too. That was too much trouble for one small debt. "This is not over," the big pirate said. But they were already walking away. The Quillen family was safe. The father came over to Jake. "Thank you," he said. "How can we repay you?" "You do not owe us anything," Jake said. "Just help someone else when you can." Zara watched this with amazement. The humans had won without fighting. They had used their minds instead of their muscles. And they did not want payment for helping. As the crowd broke up, Zara found herself walking next to the blonde human female. "That was very brave," Zara said. "Faye," human turned to her. "Oh, thank you. I am Amy Foster. Are you Kalani?" "Yes, I am Zara. How did you know?" "Your skin color and the way you carry yourself. Very dignified. I have read about your people. You are known for being honorable warriors." Zara felt strange. Most aliens only knew the Kalani as fighters, but Amy seemed to know more. "What you did back there," Zara said. "How did you make the pirates leave without fighting?" Amy smiled. "Jake is very good at finding solutions that work for everyone. Well, everyone except the bad guys. But you are smaller than they were, and you had no weapons." "We had something better," Amy said. "We had each other, and we knew the rules of this station better than they did. They walked together for a while. Amy asked Zara about her life, her family, her world. No one had ever asked Zara so many questions about herself. "Are you here for business?" Amy asked. "I am getting married," Zara said. The words felt heavy in her mouth. "How exciting! Is your husband here too?" "Yes, he is. He is arranging things." Amy must have heard something in Zara's voice. "Are you happy about getting married?" Zara did not know how to answer. No one had ever asked her if she was happy about anything. "It is my duty," she said finally. "Duty?" Amy looked confused. "But what about love? What about what you want?" "What I want does not matter. I must help my family." Amy stopped walking. "Zara, can I ask you something? Do you want to get married?" The question was so direct, so simple. Zara felt tears in her eyes. "No," she whispered, "but I have no choice." Amy put her hand on Zara's arm. Her touch was gentle, warm. "There is always a choice. It might not be easy, but there is always a choice. You do not understand. My family owes money. If I do not marry, Drex, we will lose everything." "Drex? Drex Morthak?" "Yes. Do you know him?" Amy's face became serious. "Jake needs to hear this. Will you come with me?" Zara felt nervous, but she nodded. Amy led her to a small cafe where the other humans were, sitting. Jake looked up when they approached. "Amy, who is your friend?" "This is Zara. She is getting married to Drex Morthak." Jake's expression changed immediately. "When?" "In 6 days," Zara said. "Why? What is wrong?" Jake looked at his crew. The dark-skinned male spoke first. "I am Danny Rodriguez," he said. "I work on computers and ships. I have heard things about Drex Morthak. Bad things." The black-haired female nodded. "I am Lisa Chang. I am a pilot. We have seen Drex's ships in places they should not be." "What kind of places?" Zara asked. Jake answered carefully. "Places where people are sold like cargo. Places where the law does not reach." Zara felt cold. "You think he is a criminal?" "We think he is more than just a traitor," Jake said. "But we cannot prove it." "It does not matter," Zara said sadly. "Even if he is bad, I still have to marry him. My family needs the money he will pay." "How much money?" Danny asked. 12 million credits. The humans looked at each other. That was a lot of money. "There might be another way," Jake said slowly. "What do you mean?" "If Drex is doing illegal things, there would be a bounty on him. The trade group pays good money for information about criminals. But we would need proof," Lisa said. "And getting proof would be dangerous," Amy added. Zara thought about this. It seemed impossible. How could she, one Kalani female, get proof? Against a powerful Bruthan trader? "I could not do it alone," she said. "You would not be alone," Jake said. "We would help you." "Why?" Zara asked. "Why would you help me? You do not even know me." Jake smiled. "Because everyone deserves to choose their own life. And because if Drex is hurting people, he should be stopped. But it is dangerous. You could be hurt." "That is our choice to make," Lisa said. Amy nodded. "Just like this should be your choice to make." Zara looked at these 4 humans. They were offering to risk their lives for her. A stranger. They wanted nothing in return except to help her be free. This was completely different from everything she had been taught. In her world, everything had a price. Every favor created a debt. But these humans seemed to believe that some things were worth doing just because they were right. "I need to think," Zara said. "Of course," Jake said. "But do not take too long. If we are going to do this, we need time to plan." As Zara walked back to her room, her mind was spinning. For the first time in weeks, she felt something she had almost forgotten. Hope. Maybe Amy was right. Maybe there was always a choice. That night, as she lay in bed, Zara thought about the humans. They were so different from any people she had met. They seemed to believe that being weak in body did not mean being weak in spirit. They thought that helping others was more important than helping yourself. She thought about Jake's kind eyes and Amy's gentle touch. She thought about Danny's clever mind and Lisa's brave heart. Maybe, she thought, maybe there was another way to be strong. Maybe real strength came from choosing to do what was right, even when it was hard. The wedding was in 6 days. But for the first time since this all began, Zara wondered if that wedding would actually happen. She was about to learn that sometimes the smallest spark of hope could grow into a fire that changed everything. Zara could not sleep. She kept thinking about what Jake had said. There might be another way. She had never believed there could be another way before. The next morning, she told her father she needed to do some shopping before the wedding. Instead, she went to find the humans. She found them at the docking bay where their ship was parked. Their ship was called the New Horizon. It was not big or fancy, but it looked well cared for. Jake was checking something outside the ship when he saw her. "Zara," he said, "I was hoping you would come back. I've been thinking about what you said, about there being another way. And I want to try, but I do not know how." Jake smiled. "The first step is always the hardest. Come on, let me show you our ship." Inside, the New Horizon was clean and organized. Every space was used for something important. Zara could see that these people worked together well. Amy was in the medical bay. Danny was working on some computers. Lisa was in the pilot's area, checking the ship's systems. "Everyone," Jake called. "Zara has decided to join us." They all gathered in the main room. Zara felt nervous but excited. "First," Jake said, "we need to understand what we are dealing with. Danny, what have you found about Drex?" Danny turned on a screen. It showed pictures and information. "Drex Morthak owns 12 ships," Danny said. "Officially, he trades in rare metals and luxury goods. But I have been tracking his ships. They go to places that are not on any trade routes." "What kind of places?" Zara asked. "Prison planets, markets, places where people disappear." Lisa added, "I have talked to other pilots. They say Drex's ships often travel with no cargo listed, but they are heavy when they leave certain planets." "Heavy with what?" Zara asked, though she was afraid she knew. "People," Amy said quietly. "He is stealing people and selling them." Zara felt sick. She was supposed to marry this monster. "But we cannot prove it," Jake said. "We need to see inside one of his operations." "How can we do that?" Zara asked. "We need someone on the inside. Someone he trusts." Everyone looked at Zara. She understood. "You want me to spy on him?" "Only if you want to," Jake said. "We will not force you to do anything." Zara thought about this. It would be very dangerous. If Drex found out, he would probably kill her. But if she did nothing, she would be married to a man who hurt innocent people. What would I have to do? Act. "Like you are still planning to marry him," Lisa said. "But look for evidence of his crimes. Look for computer files, records, Anything that shows what he is really doing, Danny added. And if you find anything dangerous, you call us immediately, Amy said. Jake leaned forward. Zara, I need you to understand something. This is your choice. If you want to go back to your father right now and have the wedding, we will not stop you. We will not think less of you. But if I do this, and we succeed, what happens then? If we can prove Drex is a criminal, the trade group will arrest him. There is a large bounty on slave traders. That money could pay your family's debt? And then? Jake smiled. Then you can choose what you want to do with your life. That afternoon, Zara went to see Drex. She had to pretend everything was normal. You are late, he said when she arrived. At his rooms? I'm sorry. I was shopping for things for our new home. Drex seemed pleased. Good. A wife should think about making her husband comfortable. They spent an hour going over wedding plans. Drex talked about how she would live after they were married. She would not be allowed to leave their house without his permission. She would not be allowed to talk to other men. She would not be allowed to have opinions about his business. Do you understand? He asked. Yes, Zara said. But inside she was thinking about Jake's words. Everyone deserves to choose their own life. I have some business to take care of, Drex said. Important business. You will wait here. After he left, Zara looked around his rooms. There were 3 computers. Danny had taught her what to look for. She turned on the first computer. It asked for a password. She tried a few things, but nothing worked. The second computer was the same. The third computer was different. It was older, and someone had not turned it off properly. Zara could see files on the screen. She found files with names like Cargo Manifest and Delivery Schedule. When she opened them, she saw lists of numbers and places. Cargo Unit 47, female, age 23, Kalani, high value. Cargo Unit 48, male, age 19, human, trained fighter. These were not goods. These were people. Drex was keeping records of the people he stole. Zara used the device Jake had given her to copy the files. Her hands were shaking, but she managed to get everything. She heard footsteps in the hallway. Drex was coming back. Zara quickly turned off the computer and sat down. When Drex entered, she was looking at a wedding magazine. What have you been doing? He asked. Looking at dress styles, she said. I want to look beautiful for you. Drex smiled. You will look beautiful because you will belong to me. That evening, Zara met the humans at their ship. She gave Danny the device with the copied files. This is perfect, Danny said after looking at the information. This proves everything. Ship locations, delivery schedules, even prices for different types of people. There is something else, Zara said. I think I was supposed to be cargo too. What do you mean? Amy asked. The debt my father owes. I think Drex created it somehow. I think he planned to marry me and then sell me. Jake's face became very serious. That would explain why he chose your family. Kalani women are worth a lot of money to certain buyers. So the marriage was never real. Not the way you thought, Lisa said. He was planning to own you, then sell you. Zara felt anger burning inside her, not just for herself but for all the other people Drex had hurt. What do we do now? Now we contact the trade group, Jake said. They will arrest Drex and pay us the bounty. How much? Danny checked his computer. For a slave trading operation this big, at least 15 million credits. That was more than enough to pay her family's debt. But as Jake was reaching for the communication device, alarms started going off on the ship. We have company, Lisa said from the pilot area. 3 ships, coming fast. Drex? Amy asked. Must be, Jake said. He found out about Zara. Through the window, Zara could see 3. Large ships approaching, they had weapons. He is going to kill us, Zara said. No, Jake said firmly. He is going to try to kill us. There is a difference. What can we do? His ships are bigger than ours. Jake smiled. Bigger does not always mean better. Lisa, can we outrun them? Maybe, Lisa called back. But they will. Follow us wherever we go. Then we do not run, Jake said. We fight. Fight? Zara asked. How can we fight 3 ships? The human way, Danny said. We use our brains. Everyone strap in, Lisa announced. This is going to be interesting. As the New Horizon launched from the docking bay, Zara felt more afraid than she had ever been in her life, but she also felt something else, excitement. For the first time, she was fighting for something she believed in. She was not just following orders or doing her duty. She was choosing to fight for her freedom, and for the freedom of all the people Drex had hurt. The battle was about to begin, and Zara was about to learn that sometimes the greatest victories come not from being the strongest, but from being the smartest and the most determined. The 3 enemy ships were closing in, but Jake and his crew did not look scared. They looked ready. Zara, Jake said, welcome to the human way of doing things. As laser beams started flying past their ship, Zara realized that her old life was truly over. Whatever happened next, she would never again be the obedient daughter, who did what she was told. She was free, and she was going to stay that way. The laser beams missed their ship by only a few meters. Lisa was flying the New Horizon like it was part of her body, twisting and turning to avoid the enemy fire. They are trying to disable us, not destroy us, Jake said. They want us alive. That is not good, Amy said. Alive means they can question us. Actually, it is very good, Danny said from his computer station. If they wanted to kill us, we would already be dead. But if they want us alive, they have to be careful. That gives us options. Zara was pressed against her seat as the ship spun to avoid another blast. What kind of options? Hang on, Lisa called out. I am going to try something crazy. She flew the ship straight at the space station. The enemy ships followed. They were getting closer. Lisa, Jake said calmly, please tell me you have a plan. I do, but you are not going to like it. Lisa flew the ship into the docking area of the station at full speed. The enemy ships were right behind them, but at the last second, Lisa flipped the ship upside down and flew underneath the station. The enemy ships could not turn fast enough. They crashed into the station's docking arms. No one was killed, but their ships were damaged. That was amazing, Zara said. That was just the warm-up, Lisa said with a smile. They flew away from the station, but Jake knew they were not safe yet. Drex will send more ships, he said. We need to finish this before he gets away. How? We need to get that evidence to the trade group right now. But Drex will try to stop us. Danny was working on his computers. I have an idea. What if we do not try to run away from Drex? What if we go right to him? That sounds like suicide, Amy said. No. Listen. Drex has a base ship near here. It is where he keeps his main computers and his prisoners. If we can get onto that ship, we can find more evidence and rescue the people he has captured. And probably get ourselves killed, Zara said. Maybe, Jake said, but think about it. Drex expects us to run away. He does not expect us to attack him. Because it would be crazy, Amy pointed out. Exactly. So crazy that it might work. Jake looked at each. of them. This is dangerous, more dangerous than anything we have done before. If anyone wants to leave, now is the time. No one moved. All right then, Jake said. Danny, where is Drex's base ship? About 2 hours from here. It is hidden in an asteroid field. Can we get there without being seen? If we turn off most of our power and drift, maybe. It will be cold and dark. But we can do it. They spent the next 2 hours floating through space like a dead ship. Zara had never been so cold or so scared, but she had also never felt so alive. When they reached the asteroid field, they could see Drex's base ship. It was huge, much bigger than any ship Zara had ever seen. How do we get inside? She asked. Through the cargo bay, Danny said. There is a scheduled delivery in 30 minutes. We attach our ship to the bottom of the cargo ship and ride in with them. Will that work? Only one way to find out. 20 minutes later, they were attached to the bottom of a large cargo ship. When it docked with Drex's base ship, they detached and floated into the cargo bay. The cargo bay was full of cages, and the cages were full of people. Zara had never seen anything so horrible. There were humans, Kalani, Quillen, and other species. All of them looked scared and hungry. We have to help them, Amy said. We will, Jake promised. But first we need to get the evidence. Danny, can you find the main computer? This way. They moved carefully through the ship. Drex's guards were everywhere, but they managed to avoid being seen. The computer room was protected by an electronic lock. Danny worked on it for several minutes. Almost got it, he whispered. The door opened. Inside was the biggest computer Zara had ever seen. This is it, Danny said. This has records of everything, every crime, every victim, every payment. He started copying files to his portable device. This will take a few minutes. That was when they heard footsteps in the hallway. Someone is coming, Lisa whispered. Jake looked around the room. There was nowhere to hide. Zara, he said quietly, you need to go back to the cargo bay. Pretend you are a prisoner. If we get caught, you are our only hope. I am not leaving you. You have to. This is the only way. Before Zara could argue, the door opened. Drex walked in with 6 guards. Well, Drex said. The famous Jake Morrison. I have been looking forward to meeting you. Jake stood up slowly. Drex, nice ship you have here, very roomy. Did you really think you could sneak onto my ship and steal my files? We were not stealing, Danny said. We were gathering evidence. Drex laughed. Evidence? You are criminals who broke into my ship. No one will believe anything you say. The trade group will be very interested in what we found, Jake said. The trade group will never see those files. My guards are going to make sure of that. Zara was hiding behind a large computer. She could see everything, but no one could see her. Where is the Kalani female? Drex asked. I know she was with you. She decided she wanted to marry you after all, Jake said. She went back to the station. Drex hit Jake in the face. Do not lie to me. She was part of this. Actually, came a voice from the doorway, she was. Zara's father walked into the room. Lord Keth looked angry and disappointed. Father? Zara whispered, but he could not hear her. Lord Keth, Drex said. Perfect timing. Your daughter has caused me a lot of trouble. Where is she? That is what I am trying to find out. These humans helped her spy on me. Then they will pay for it, Lord Keth said. No one dishonors my family. Zara felt her heart break. Her own father was helping Drex. Kill the humans, Drex said to his guards. But do it slowly. I want them to suffer. The guards raised their weapons. That was when Zara made her choice. She stood up from behind the computer. Stop! Everyone turned to look at her. Zara, her father said, what are you doing here? I am saving innocent people, she said. Something you taught me to do, father. Or did you forget about honor? Honor? Drex laughed. Your father sold you to me to pay his debts. There is no honor in that. My father made a mistake, Zara said. But I will not make the same mistake. She looked at her father. Do you know what Drex really does? Do you know how he makes his money? He is a trader. He is a slave trader. He steals people and sells them, children, families, anyone he can catch. Lord Keth looked at Drex. Is this true? What does it matter? Drex said. Business is business. For the first time, Zara saw doubt in her father's eyes. Father, she said, these humans risked their lives to help me. They could have run away, but they stayed to fight for what is right. Is that not what honor really means? Lord Keth was quiet for a long moment. Then he looked at Jake. Is my daughter telling the truth? About Drex being a criminal? Yes. About us helping her? Yes. About honor, meaning fighting for what is right? That is for you to decide. Drex was getting impatient. Enough talking. Kill them all. But before his guards could fire, alarms started going off all over the ship. What is that? Drex demanded. One of his men checked a computer. Trade group ships. Lots of them. They are surrounding us. Danny smiled. I sent the evidence files to the trade group 20 minutes ago. They work fast. You are all under arrest, came a voice over the ship's communication system. Surrender now or face the consequences. Drex's face was red with anger. He pulled out a weapon and pointed it at Zara. If I am going down, I am taking her with me. But before he could fire, Lord Keth moved. The old Kalani warrior was still fast. He tackled Drex, and they both fell to the ground. Jake's team jumped on the guards while they were distracted. In a few minutes, it was over. Trade group soldiers came onto the ship and arrested everyone who worked for Drex. They freed all the prisoners in the cargo bay. The bounty for this operation is 18 million credits, the trade group commander told Jake. More than enough to pay the Velthara family debt. Zara hugged her father. I am sorry I disobeyed you. No, Lord Keth said. I am sorry I forgot what honor really means. These humans showed me that real strength comes from helping others, not from following orders blindly. He looked at Jake. Thank you for teaching my daughter to be brave. I did not teach her anything, Jake said. She was already brave. She just needed a chance to show it. As they prepared to leave Drex's ship, Zara realized that everything had changed. Her family was free of debt. Drex was in prison. And she was free to choose her own life. But the biggest change was inside herself. She was no longer the obedient daughter who did what she was told. She was Zara Velthara, and she made her own choices. The wedding was supposed to be tomorrow, but there would be no wedding. Instead, there would be a new beginning. 3 weeks after Drex's arrest, Zara stood on the observation deck of Nexus 7. She was watching ships come and go, thinking about how much her life had changed. The trade group had paid the bounty for capturing Drex and his criminal organization, 18 million credits. Her family's debt was paid, with money left over. But more important than the money was what she had learned about herself. Deep thoughts? Jake asked, walking up beside her. I was thinking about choices, Zara said. A month ago, I thought I had no choices. Now I have too many. What do you mean? My father wants me to come home and help him rebuild our family's reputation. My mother wants me to find a nice Kalani husband. The trade group has offered me a job as an investigator. And what do you want? Zara smiled. That is the problem. No one ever asked me what I wanted before. Now I have to figure it out. Jake nodded. That is the hardest part of being free. You have to take responsibility for your own choices. They stood quietly for a moment, watching the stars. Jake, Zara said, can I ask you something? Of course. Why did you help me? Really? You could have been killed. Jake thought about this. On my world, we believe that everyone deserves a chance to be free. Not just humans, but everyone. When we saw what was happening to you, we could not just walk away. Even though I was a stranger? Sometimes strangers become the most important people in your life. Zara felt her heart skip. Over the past weeks, she had grown very close to Jake and his crew. They had become like family to her. But with Jake, it was something more. What will you do now? She asked. We have a new job. The trade group wants us to investigate other criminal organizations. Apparently, word has gotten around that we are good at this kind of work. That sounds dangerous. It is, but it is also important work. There are a lot of people out there who need help. Zara made her decision. I want to come with you. Jake looked surprised. Are you sure? It will mean leaving your family, your world, everything you have known. I have been thinking about that. My family is safe now. They do not need me to sacrifice myself for them anymore. And as for leaving everything I have known... Zara looked at him. Maybe it is time I learned about new things. It will not be easy. We live on a small ship. We go to dangerous places. We do not make a lot of money. But we would be free? Yes, we would be free. Then I want to come. Jake smiled. The crew will have to vote on it. On human ships, everyone gets a say in important decisions. Another vote? Zara laughed. You humans vote on everything. Democracy is messy, but it works. That evening, the crew of the New Horizon held a meeting. Zara waited outside while they discussed her request. After an hour, Amy came out. Well? Zara asked. Welcome to the crew, Amy said with a big smile. Really? Really. Danny says we need someone who understands alien cultures. Lisa says we need someone who can fight. And Jake says we need someone who believes in doing the right thing. What did you say? Amy hugged her. I said we need someone who reminds us that freedom is worth fighting for. The next day, Zara said goodbye to her parents. It was hard, but they understood. You have grown up, her mother said. I am proud of you. You are choosing your own path, her father said. That takes courage. Your human friends have taught you well. They have taught me that real honor comes from helping others, not from following rules blindly. Lord Keth nodded. I am learning that too. I have been talking to other Kalani leaders about changing some of our old ways. Maybe it is time we learned from the humans. Change is good, Zara said, but do not change everything. Some of our traditions are worth keeping. We will keep the good ones and change the bad ones. As the New Horizon prepared to leave Nexus 7, Zara felt nervous and excited. She was leaving everything she had ever known, but she was also starting the life she had always dreamed of. Ready? Jake asked. Ready? Their first mission was to investigate reports of illegal mining operations on a planet called Vega Prime. The miners were using slave labor and poisoning the planet's water supply. As they traveled through space, Zara learned more about how the human crew worked together. Everyone had a job, but they also helped each other. When someone made a mistake, the others helped fix it instead of punishing them. "This is so different from how I was raised," Zara told Amy one day. "How were you?" "Raised to follow orders, to never question authority, to put duty before everything else. And now? Now I think for myself. I make my own choices. I decide what is right and wrong." Amy smiled. That is what growing up really means. When they reached Vega Prime, they found the situation was worse than they had expected. The mining company was not just using slaves, they were also selling children to other criminal organizations. "This is horrible," Zara said when she saw the conditions in the mining camps. "Yes, it is," Jake said. "That is why we are here to stop it." It took them 2 weeks to gather enough evidence to bring down the mining operation. It was dangerous work. They had to sneak into the camps, take pictures, and copy computer files, all while avoiding the guards. But they succeeded. The trade group arrested the mine owners and freed over 300 slaves. The bounty was smaller this time, only 5 million credits. But it was enough to keep the New Horizon running and help the freed slaves start new lives. As they celebrated their success, Zara realized something important. She was happy. Really, truly happy. For the first time in her life, she was doing exactly what she wanted to do. "You look content," Jake said, sitting beside her in the ship's common room. "I am. Is that strange?" "Not at all. You have found your purpose." "What about you? Are you happy?" Jake looked at her with those kind eyes she had first noticed weeks ago. "I am happier than I have been in a long time. Because of the work we are doing? Because of the people I am doing it with." Zara felt her heart speed up. "Jake, Zara, I need to tell you something. When we first met, I wanted to help you because it was the right thing to do. But now I want to be with you because I care about you. A lot." Zara had dreamed of hearing those words, but she had been afraid to hope. "I care about you too," she said, "more than I ever thought possible." "So what do we do about it?" "We do what humans do. We choose." Jake smiled. "And what do you choose?" "I choose you. I choose this life. I choose to be free." They kissed under, the stars visible through the ship's windows. It was Zara's first kiss that she had chosen for herself, and it was perfect. 6 months later, the New Horizon had become famous throughout this part of the galaxy. They had shut down 4 criminal organizations and freed hundreds of slaves. More importantly, they had inspired other people to stand up for what was right. On Kalani worlds, young people were starting to question the old ways of arranged marriages and blind obedience. On human worlds, people were organizing to help refugees and victims of crime. Even other species were beginning to adopt some human ideas about freedom and choice. "We are starting a revolution," Danny said one day. "A quiet revolution," Lisa added, "but a revolution nonetheless." "The best kind," Amy said. "Change that comes from people choosing to be better." Zara was now the ship's cultural specialist and tactical advisor. She had learned to use computers to fight with modern weapons and to pilot small ships. But more importantly, she had learned to trust herself. "Do you ever miss your old life?" Jake asked her one evening as they watched the sunset on a peaceful planet where they had stopped for supplies. "Sometimes I miss my parents," Zara said, But I do not miss being told what to do every day. I do not miss feeling helpless. No regrets? Only one. What is that? I regret that it took me so long to find you. Jake took her hand. You found me exactly when you were supposed to. As they prepared to leave for their next mission, investigating reports of a slavery ring in the outer colonies, Zara thought about how much had changed. A year ago, she had been a frightened young woman, with no choices and no hope. Now she was a free agent, traveling the galaxy with the people she loved, fighting for justice and helping others find their own freedom. The Kalani believed that honor came from duty and sacrifice, but Zara had learned that real honor came from choosing to do what was right, even when it was difficult. The humans had taught her that strength did not come from following orders, but from thinking for yourself. That love was not about ownership, but about partnership. That the most important battles were fought not with weapons, but with courage and compassion. Ready for the next adventure? Jake asked as they prepared to jump to hyperspace. Always, Zara said, as long as we are together. As the New Horizon leaped into hyperspace, Zara smiled. She had been married off to repay a debt, but her eyes had shifted when she met the human who showed her what freedom really meant. Now she was free, and she would spend the rest of her life making sure others could find that same freedom. The galaxy was a big place, full of people who needed help. And Zara Velthara, former Kalani noble and current human crew member, was ready to help them. After all, everyone deserved a chance to choose their own path. Everyone deserved to be free.